Good morning, Bitcoin. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018. My name is Thomas Hunt, and here's what's happening today in Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin was up 5.42% in the last 24 hours, with a last of 7,441, a high of 7,441, and a low of 6,916. That's $1 for 13,478 Satoshis. The current Mayer multiple is 0.78, with a Bitcoin price of around 7,347 and a 200-day moving average of 9,421. The Mayer multiple has been higher 87% of the time, with an average of 1.58. Our top story today, Vitalik Buterin calls out Craig Wright at a conference. Let's listen in.
Definition is between 0 and 1. Absolutely nonsensical claim that makes no sense because gamma is the percentage of the network that he is colluding with the miner, which by definition is between 0 and 1. So given that he makes so many non-sequiturs and mistakes, why is this fraud allowed to speak at this conference?
And just for you who don't speak Vitalik, given that he makes so many non-sequiturs and mistakes, why is this fraud allowed to speak at this conference? And Vitalik was, of course, speaking of Craig Wright, who alleges to be the creator of Bitcoin, but just can't seem to prove it, except in certain conditions, almost like a magician, allegedly like a magician. Impressive move by Vitalik. Maybe he's coming back to Bitcoin. He was recently seen spotting a Bitcoin Cash t-shirt, but that could just be some kind of mistake. Meanwhile, Bitcoin climbs above 7,000 even as stocks fall. But I thought the stock market was correlated to the Bitcoin market. I thought all the markets were linked together and they went up and down at the same time. But if Bitcoin's not correlated to the stock market, and I also thought Bitcoin was dead. I thought Bitcoin was dead and going to zero. That's what John Oliver said. He said it was either going to 1 million or going to zero. So it's not going to zero. Bitcoin shakes off death cross signal to trade slightly higher. Oh, and the obvious connection. It must be because customers can now buy in-flight meals and seat upgrades using digital currency when traveling Air Asia. Nice connection there, MarketWatch. Usually they put that in the headline. Bitcoin shakes off death cross because of Air Asia in-flight meals. But it did seem like Bitcoin shook off the death cross, as we've seen it 5% higher just today. Newly minted Bitcoin millionaires are lining up to buy Lamborghinis. Still seems kind of wasteful, but to me. But the website whenlambo.com can help you figure out when you'll be able to buy a Lamborghini with Bitcoin. Here in the example, if you have one Bitcoin currently valued around $7,400, you could get a Lamborghini on July 22nd, 2031. Got to put that on my calendar. Fun website, whenlambo.com. And Robinhood's free crypto trading app rolls out in California. Don't call it Cali. And 3 more states. That's right. Robinhood is rolling out its, and this is directly from TechCrunch, Coinbase Killer. I think it's a killer. Coinbase Killer. That has already helped the fintech startup's valuation grow 4 times in a year. Zero-fee trading of Bitcoin and Ethereum is now available to all investors in California, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana. Everyone else is still on the wait list. Robinhood users everywhere can track 16 crypto coins, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple, as well as trade traditional stocks with no transaction commissioned. Ooh, as announced in January, Robinhood Crypto vastly undercuts Coinbase's U.S. fees that range from 1.5 to 4%. 1 million users waitlisted for Robinhood Crypto in the first 5 days after it was announced, and the app now has 4 million total registered users. its lack of fees is proving to be a way to lure both veteran and rookie crypto investors to Robinhood, though it lacks support for trading and a wide range of coins as Coinbase. Bullshit. Sorry. Rather than charging per trade, Robinhood earns money from interest on money in the user's accounts and its Robinhood Gold subscription service. For $6 to $200 a month in subscription fees, users can borrow between $1,000 and $50,000 to trade with. Well, that sounds mostly good, except for the part at the end where you can borrow a bunch of money. I've heard a lot of people are freaking out because the recent drive to 20,000, they say, might have been driven by people charging Bitcoin on their credit card. And of course, if you charged your credit card to get Bitcoin in the $16,000 range, you're still looking at a 50% loss right now. I mean, hopefully you're hodling and paying those credit card bills somehow. But the interest alone, my goodness. And of course, it's wonderful of Robinhood to offer a little bit more margin. Oh, and Spotify's open now. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone's excited. Bitcoin's Lightning Network is being attacked for its own good. That's right. That's how things work for real projects. You have to attack them. You have to see if they're strong. The attackers are paying their own money to attack the Lightning Network, and it's not really an attack to steal funds, but to make a statement. Okay. But it's always good to have some attackers, so we're welcome to try to develop some zero-day vulnerabilities in Litecoin. But it really seems more like a denial of service attack, something that's much like the weather. You just can't stop it. You have to prepare for it. And as Bosworth tweeted, we're getting a good opportunity to develop robust peer-to-peer deployment strategies. So Lightning is taking it on the chin and just keeps going. I asked you, where is mass Bitcoin adoption happening? You responded with 914 votes. Amsterdam, 31%. San Francisco, 27%. Las Vegas, 24%. And New York in the rear with 18%. What a bad showing for New York. Perhaps because of the Bitcoin, the Bit license, perhaps because of the collapse of the Bitcoin Center after the Bit license. Perhaps people in New York just don't have any spirit to vote for polls. Either way, congratulations to Amsterdam, 31%. Tough poll when I'm really rooting for really all these cities. And that's about it for this episode of Today in Bitcoin. Checking out the chat, see what you have to say. 7,438 is not too shabby, according to Chris. You tell him, Skeletor. The top story, shorters getting wrecked. That's right. If you shorted Bitcoin, you said the price of Bitcoin was going to go down, and the price of Bitcoin instead went up 5%, you would be in big trouble. Hodl Monkey. This is the perfect time to buy a Lambo from someone else who already got wrecked. That's right. For all the people that are buying $400,000 cars, it might be a little early for that. I know you guys made a lot of money on Ethereum, but do you really think you need a $400,000 car? If I'm going to spend $400,000 on something, I better be able to live in it. And the back seat in that Lambo does not look comfy at all. Atlanta Landcap, he agrees Lambos are getting liquidated by weak hands. Imagine being dumb enough to go into debt buying stocks. That's essentially what's going on when people think that Bitcoin is a get-rich-quick scheme. And it's a get-rich-slowly scheme. And you got to tell the difference. Shout out to Check Your Six. Thanks for the $2 donation. Thanking the crew. And he stood in front of one for a photo op. Well, I think we're talking about a Lambo. And yeah, if you see one, you got to stand in front of it. I stood in front of a Toyota recently. It had doors that went like this, but it wasn't a Lambo. That reminds me, I really got to watch that new Silicon Valley episode everyone's talking about. They put Coinbase in the introduction. The Litecoin guys say their logo's in there too. And of course, they have the new Apple spaceship and Facebook writing changing into Russian or some form of Cyrillic, making fun of Facebook. So thanks so much for watching. Be sure to give us a like down below. Remember, likes are free. Yesterday's episode got more likes, got more views. I think that's related. Be sure to push the share button. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's the same thing on all the YouTube channels. Share, like, subscribe. And if you want to, you can donate Bitcoin right here, the QR code on your screen. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.